Hi, I'm Leora Love, and I'm putting on the final touches on my brand new debut EP, I Am Love. Well, one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I'm a child of the Jamaican diaspora. So I was raised in a Jamaican home and brought up in the culture and the lifestyle. My mom was born in Jamaica and raised there, and my dad was born in England, so I have a bit of British heritage as well, but he was raised in Jamaica. And even my stepdad was born and raised in Jamaica. So I definitely have a lot of Jamaican heritage and roots. And I recently made a post to promote my new single coming out, Nerve, which has a picture of me with the Jamaican flag behind me and me sitting on the throne. And I'm sure a lot of people are asking, who this white girl sit down on the Jamaican flag? I know my patois might not be perfect, but me understand what y'all say. So I just wanted to clear some of the stereotypes that might come with what a Jamaican should look like or sound like or be like. I mean, there are several ethnicities that people come from different places in Jamaica. Like there's Chinese Jamaicans, white Jamaicans, Indian Jamaicans. So it's not just one race. And one thing I've learned about the motto of Jamaica is out of many, one people. So I was also born and raised in Miami, Florida, and I recently graduated last year in 2020 in Berklee College of Music in Boston. It was a very tough year for sure for graduates, but I made it and I am proud of the accomplishments that I've had. And I majored in professional music and my concentrates were performance and music business. And I studied a little bit of production there as well in my time there. And I studied my first year abroad in Valencia, Spain, where I got a bigger deep dive in the cultures and learned more about different areas as I got to travel and got enriched in the different types of music. And I think it definitely reflected on my style as well, learning about different styles of music aside from what I've learned and what I was brought up in. For example, one of my tracks that I have coming up on the EP is called Puppet, where I have some implements of the Spanish guitar in there. So I wouldn't have probably added those kind of elements if it wasn't for my time in Valencia. So originally the EP was going to be called Trying Times to symbolize two different meanings. One, I went through some really tough, trying situations. I've been through a lot of tough stuff in my life, and I think music helped me get through those times. And another reason I would call it trying is it's a form of me trying out multiple genres into my music and not sticking to just one and putting myself in a box. And in this EP, I wanted to really push myself into doing multiple genres and showcasing all the types of music that I like. And eventually, when I have other EPs coming out, I will kind of be more focused on certain genres. But for now, I want to showcase who is Leora Lev to the world. And just a month before releasing my debut single, Taking Over, I changed my artist name. Originally, I was just going to go by my name, Lindsay Levy, and I changed my artist name to Leora Lev. And the name Leora is actually Hebrew, which is a part of my culture, another part of my heritage. And it means light. I am light, or I have light. And the name Lev is actually an acronym for lifting every voice. And I thought that was just such a powerful acronym to use. And for me, it symbolizes no matter what gender or what kind of music you listen to, no matter what religion, what race you come from, we come together. And I want my music to really inspire other people and, you know, really come together. And I think I Am Lev was the perfect way to express that. I think releasing Nerve was an excellent strategy to showcasing different styles in my music. I wanted to surprise people and show that I not only do electronic music, but I'm also going to be having some funk in there, some pop funk, a little bit of hip hop elements. I've also have some dance hall beats into one of my songs, and I will also be releasing a cover by Earth, Wind and Fire called September, where I put my own spin-off into like more of a jazz acoustic vibe, and I will be also playing the alto saxophone on there, as well as doing some vocal improvisations, as you might have heard in some of the previous singles I've released. I wanted to showcase some of my previous jazz training that I did before Berklee in Miami-Dade College, where I received my associates in jazz performance. So definitely there's a lot of surprises to look forward to in I Am Love. Well, it was a pretty difficult time, and I assume it was very difficult for a lot of musicians as well due to the coronavirus. Originally, my EP was supposed to be fully recorded in the Berklee studio, and one of my songs were partially recorded. The main vocals of Nerve were recorded in the studio, but the rest of the vocals, like the harmonies and stuff, were recorded at home. And the majority of my EP was actually recorded in my closet. So honestly, I had to really, truly improvise how I was gonna do this. The first few months of lockdown, I was pretty depressed, and it took me a while to kind of pick myself back up, because I had a lot of plans originally after graduation that I was going to be moving to LA. I was going to be, recording in more studios and get more networking and performing, and a lot of those plans didn't work out. But at the same time, if it wasn't for lockdown, my production skills wouldn't have improved. I think my confidence in myself and my music have gotten so much stronger, and I definitely had a better aspect of what I wanted in my music, production-wise, to make certain decisions on my own. And it took a while learning how to use the production tools, but I really trained myself to know what I wanted to put into my music. And by the time I produced my tracks to the best of my abilities, I sent it over to other producers to help make a little bit of enhancements and get a mixer on it as well. And all of those meetings were through Zoom and text, so we were just like Zooming and texting back and forth, and I was very involved in every step of the way throughout the other production and the mixing and mastering. And I think because of my experience and knowledge in getting better in production, it helped me know more what I want into my music. So it's definitely shaped the EP a lot better. And it's funny how a lot of people listen to it and they're like, this is really good. Like, what studio you recorded this in? And it's like, yeah, this was recorded at home in my closet. I mean, like, it sounds professional studio quality, and that's the best that I can hope for under these circumstances. I think during this time, I definitely have a better understanding of the Jamaican phrase, take your hand and turn fashion, which basically means you have to try to make the best out of a bad situation and really try to improvise, which was done a lot for this EP. I mean, even my writing skills, I would say, have improved over time. I definitely had more emotions to put out that I think definitely is showcased, especially in my song Let Go, than it was before. This EP represents several obstacles that I have gone through, both before and during my time at Berklee, and it expresses how writing and producing and getting into those songs have been a source of healing during that time. And Taking Over, for example, shows my path getting into Berklee, where I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life, and it felt like I was blindly following a path through music, but ultimately I was following my heart and trusting the process at the end of the day. And Gorgeous is another song that for me was my personal fight song and empowerment song for me, and it showcases things that I went through before my time in Berklee, where I've had influential figures in my life tell me that I'm not good enough, or people judge me based on my appearance or my weight. And I can't stand when people make these kind of judgments, because you don't know what somebody's going through at that time. Like, you can be having health issues or self-confidence issues, and that can just only destroy somebody's confidence and make you feel worse about yourself. And that doesn't do any good at the end of the day. So what I want this song to do is to kind of influence other people and get people's confidence back up and say, like, you are beautiful, you are amazing, you can do whatever you put your mind into, and you don't need these people in your life to tell me you're not good enough. You have to truly believe in yourself. And one of the lyrics that inspired me the most on Gorgeous was actually the rap that I do, even though I'm not much of a rapper, but I definitely got into it. In the bridge, it goes a little bit like this: you cannot decide how my day is, what my weight is, what my fate is, cause I write you down on my hate list, cause I won't take this. No, I won't take your shh. Beauty comes in every shape, comes in every size, got thick thighs, pretty eyes, you better recognize. Don't try to criticize who I am, what I do, cause baby, I'ma be me, so honey, you do you. And honestly, that lyric makes me definitely boost my confidence throughout this journey. And yeah. Well, I don't have a place in particular that I write. I'm pretty new into the lyric writing. I wouldn't really call myself a poet, but I write based on how I'm feeling, and I'm pretty straightforward with my lyrics. And usually the main melody and the main idea of the song comes to my mind first before I start writing the lyrics. So sometimes I will make beats previously on my software and try to give myself more of a form to start with. And usually the inspiration can come anywhere, whether it's a commercial that I saw, or whether I'm at the beach. Usually my inspiration comes when I'm writing at night, or if I'm surrounded by water. So the beach, or even in the shower, I can write some of the best lyrics. For example, Nerve, the pre-chorus in Nerve was fully written in the shower. I wasn't in the best of moods that day, and I just sometimes talk to myself or sing to myself as I'm in the shower, and the whole pre-chorus was written there. And honestly, water helps me concentrate and helps get the lyrics to flow. And I think, honestly, my lyrics were resonating with a lot of people, especially Let Go, that was released. It has almost 60,000 views, and I think a lot of people can relate to that song lyrically, and I think it might have resonated with a lot of people. So I think, honestly, if I just truly show my personal experiences and show my most authentic self to people, that's how people can easily relate to your music. One technique in particular that I've learned at Berklee is to try to keep your song organized in a specific form. For example, like if you're having verse, chorus, bridge, or you start with the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then repeating. You just try to organize the storyline that you are creating for your audience by using that song form. Not really. It's more of a matter of mindset that I'm in, rather than the place that gets me more motivated and inspired. As long as it's more of a relatively quiet, peaceful space to think and record, I think that's all that matters. Before I really got into studying music and into singing, I started off playing the saxophone, and what got me into that was my stepfather, who had a wide collection of jazz music, and he got me into artists like Charlie Parker, Saffron, Candy Dulfer, Walter Beasley, and it really inspired me to play the saxophone when I would hear their solos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do this too. So that's what got me started off in music, and as I progressed into more vocal music, I got inspired by artists like Sia and Halsey, and some people say that I sound a lot like Norah Jones and Amy Winehouse, which I am not surprised by. I have listened to their music a lot, so and I'm sure that's also what tends to inspire a lot of other artists, like even Bruno Mars. He's inspired by James Brown, and it reflects on his performance. And honestly, those artists that I listen to, they are absolutely amazing, and I am grateful for the comments that people have said about my style. A lot of people don't know that some of the artists that also influence me are artists like Aurora and Paramore. Their music is definitely not within my style, but it's, I think, the way that they perform that gets me really inspired. It was definitely in my bucket list to go see Paramore and Aurora, and I was able to achieve those goals. I got to see Paramore in Spain and Aurora in Boston, and just seeing the way that they connected with the audience and connected with the music and just vibed with the music is what inspired me into the way that I showcasing my performance to people. Their connection with the audience was just so fun, and just showed their complete, weird, authentic selves. Like, there was a time that somebody threw a bra into the stage, and Hayley Williams from Paramore, she just picked up the bra and just put it on her head and kept dancing, and I just thought it was just such a cool way of just her being weird and just showing the audience who she is, and nothing was really choreographed or staged, or at least didn't feel staged, and that's kind of how I want to showcase my music to the audience as well.